Right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. I'm back in Green Park, and I'm looking down here, and you can see that this is the entrance or the exit to Green Park Underground Station. I hope you can all see that very clearly. Okay, that's enough. We'll turn around. We're in Green Park itself, and let me introduce my name, if you don't know it, is Magnus Nielsen, and otherwise known as Lord Londonstone. I'm not really a lord, by the way. There's no such peerage as Londonstone. It's just a tag which I use for the purposes of YouTube and other reasons. But anyway, here we are. So this is, as I say, this is Green Park, and what I'm going to do today is we're going off to Buckingham Palace to have a look at the changing of the guard. It is now about 25 minutes past 10, and what I'm doing is heading in the direction of the palace. So let me just turn around and show you. Right, here we go. So this is Green Park, and Green Park is one of the royal parks of central London. One of the great benefits of living in London is you have wide open spaces right in the centre of the city, which make it an agreeable place in which to live. Not so many cities have as much green and open space in them. And in fact, in Greater London, I think I've said this before, but it's worth repeating, out of the 600 square miles that cover Greater London, 40% of that area is taken up by parks and gardens and other open spaces. Now, with these videos, I think this could be a very long video, and I don't think that you, the viewers of these videos, actually like long videos, so I may break this up into several shorter videos. It's certainly my own experience that I don't really like videos that go on for a long time unless they really do have something that I'm interested in. So let's just say that I will try to keep an eye on the time and try and keep these videos as short as I can be. Okay, so I'm actually going to come back to Green Park at some time, because I can do an entire video or series of videos on Green Park, but not today. We're focusing on the changing of the guard at Buckingham Palace, and you should know, in fact, that there are two places where we have changings of the guard, and that is, well, there are three, I suppose. We've got the Tower of London, but there's also Horse Guards in Whitehall, which we've already seen, and we have Buckingham Palace. There's also a changing of the guard at Windsor Castle, but that's some distance from London. Right, now then, I'm making good progress. I've lost track of time, but it's about 10:25, getting on to 10:30 in the morning, and I said it was Wednesday the 15th of October 2025, and the weather you can see for yourself. It's not raining, but the sun isn't shining either, so it's overclouded. But it's, I wouldn't say it was warm, but it's not cold, so it's not disagreeable. If you're wearing a coat, you're absolutely fine. Now, well, you can't see Buckingham Palace from here because it's just a little way beyond the trees. But when we do get down there, you'll see the large crowds. Now, as I think I've said before, I'll say it again, actually, if you want to see the ceremony called the changing of the guard, it's no use coming down here at this time, because the crowds will be all gathered around the railings and you won't see anything at all. During summer months, you can get as many as 3,000 people outside the palace. Maybe not so much today, we'll see, I don't know. But just wanted to show you what everybody else does, okay, with regard to the changing of the guard. And having a look at the guards. And now if you want to see the change of the guard, you've got to really be here for 9:30 at the latest, and you have to position yourself outside the railings, and you have to stay put for 2 hours. Don't move, otherwise you'll miss your position and somebody else will move in and take your place and you won't see anything. And by the way, as I say, when you're there at 9:30, the action doesn't really begin until 11, so you're just standing around looking at nothing for, what, 1.5 hours. And if your time in London is limited, that may not be the best way to spend time. Anyway, here we are. We're just making our way inside the palace. It's coming into view now as I'm talking to you. How much time have I got? 8 minutes. Okay, well, we'll just carry on for another little while. You have the Canada gates here on our left. You have a Canadian War Memorial there over on the right. And as we make our way down here, the palace becomes more and more clearly into view. We have a road that leads off on the right hand side here called Constitution Hill, and that takes you up to Hyde Park Corner and then to Hyde Park itself. So we've got the front of the palace here, the frontage, and you can see how the crowds are already arriving. And actually it's interesting to point out here, you can see there are in fact two buildings. You've got the building made of the honey-coloured limestone that comes from, it's a Bath stone. I think I've said before in the previous videos that particular type of limestone is very heavily impregnated with iron, so that's how the stone oxidizes when it's exposed to air. And you've got the other type of stone is called Portland stone, and this just gives you a, well, it's not white, it's a sort of off-white colour. We can't cross the street because we have the lights against us. I don't know, maybe we can't cross anyway. Or maybe we can, I don't know, we'll see. Let's see what's going on. Oh, right, well, crossing against the red lights, but there we are. I just wanted to show you what the palace looked like. You can see for yourself all these people. This, I think, is because it's October, and you don't get quite as many people here as you might expect in the summer. Can we look through and we can see the forecourt, and you can see here the large numbers of people, and they all look a reasonably respectable crowd of visitors. Very few Londoners, I would think. Oh yes, thank you. I want to show people this. A warning about pickpockets. While you're taking photographs, there are all sorts of creepy people who are out to pick your pocket, so you want to be very careful about that. And you also get sex pests and all sorts of other strangers, so you need to look at that. And I've got this lady who's very kindly warning us of that situation. Thank you very much indeed. I think people need to know this. So, you know, I keep wondering, should I tell people about this? And I think, well, I think I have to, because really it's your own best advantage. It's sort of unselling Britain, as it were. People work so hard to try and present a positive image of this country, and to tell people about pickpockets at Buckingham Palace, then that is off-putting. Now there we've got a constable wearing a traditional helmet. You don't see so many of these around these days. I don't know quite what's happened, but anyway, there we have another constable who's wearing a helmet. An endangered species, I think. Right. So here you can see.
Room for people to walk through. Okay, you've got to be really bunched up.
You can see on the right at the top of the palace, you've got the British national flag, often called the Union Jack. That's not actually quite technically correct. It's the Union flag, not the Union Jack. But people call it the Union Jack, so whatever. Here you can see the balcony where, maybe you can't see it so easily here, but behind the railings, the balcony where the members of the royal family come out on special occasions. And I'm just looking around here, and then you can see the Victoria Memorial. And everybody's waiting now. And say some of them have been waiting here for an hour, rather longer perhaps, for something to happen, and nothing is happening, except they're all looking at other people, finding the best place they can on the Victoria Memorial. So, I think it makes sense. I don't suppose you want to just watch a video of people in a crowd doing nothing, waiting for things to happen. So what I'm going to do now is I could shut this video down, and I will start again if something else happens, because otherwise there's not a lot to see. Anyway, Buckingham Palace. The time is round about 10:30 on Wednesday, the 15th of October 2025. We've got a large number of people outside the palace. I haven't counted them all. Probably about 2,000 I would reckon, but that's because it's October. You get many more in summer. Okay, over and out for the time being, ladies and gentlemen. See you soon.